And now we are officially live, even though we've been dicking around for a little while. What's up, everybody? PG Braun here, president of Untitled Official and Blackstone Labs. Switching roles for this special episode of Ask PG Braun, because it is actually not Ask PG Braun. It is Ask Kendra Lust, who is my all-time favorite porn star. I'm gonna let her introduce herself.
Ooh, hi everybody, Kendra here. Excited to be at the home base here in Boca Raton. So let's get started.
We had some technical difficulties because, well, she's actually talking rather loud now, which is good. But she's got such a soft voice that they turned me all the way down. I'm interested in hearing your feedback on what I sound like, and they turned her all the way up in the microphone.
Yes,
so we could balance each other out.
Yes, perfect.
All right, I'm going to tell you guys a quick story, and I don't want to ramble because I want to get right into the Kendra stuff. I don't want to take away from Kendra, but I want you guys, a lot of you guys don't know the history of how this all started. Now, some of you know how Entice started. It was basically, it almost started as by an accident. I was using a product called Hype that I designed for Blackstone Labs, and I took it every day. I took 2 scoops of it every day. And I went on vacation, and I didn't bring it with me, and I noticed that like my erections just weren't as hard as they normally were. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? And I wasn't sure if it was something that I was like screwing up with my injections of my HRT. Then I went back home, got back into my normal regime, and I was back to normal. And I just through trial and error figured out that it was from the Hype. So I started breaking down the ingredients in the Hype and what they do for blood flow, because it is a vasodilator. And anything that's a vasodilator is going to not only push blood into your muscles, but it's going to push blood down into your nether regions as well. And so I was like, I found a natural product that actually works like that, because most natural products I always felt were bullcrap. And so I started experimenting with the doses, and I'm like, I got to put this into a pill and make a sex pill. So we came up with the formula, and I gave it to the original formula. I'm going to be completely honest with you, I'm pretty sure was spiked. And we gave it to all the guys in the office, and a lot of you know this story, a lot of you don't. But Chris Herron got like what was probably like the worst, or perhaps best, depending on how you look at it, pill of everyone. So I walked into the room, I had 10 pills, and I'm like, who wants a huge fucking boner? Excuse my language. And all the guys were like, me. I'm like, who's gonna actually have sex? And that eliminated like 3/4 of them right away. So Chris Herron was like, I'm gonna have sex. And he's like, me and my girlfriend will have sex. So I gave everybody the pills. Nobody heard from Chris Herron for like, it's not like him. He's a very, very great employee. He's the head of our customer service. Prompt, always on time. Nobody knew where he was. Nobody knew where he was because he went to bed, he had sex, went to bed, nothing happened, right? He said he woke up with a raging hard-on that he couldn't get rid of. So they like jerked it, they had sex, I think she sucked it for a while. He took a shower, he took a cold shower and let the cold water run on it, and it wouldn't go away. And it was starting to make him nauseous. He called out of work, and they were like scared because he actually got priapism, which is a real thing. I mean, I want to get priapism, but if you listen closely on the commercials for Cialis, Viagra, at the end, you know, they're like, an erection for 4 hours or longer, please see immediate medical attention. And they give you a little shot in your wiener and it shrinks it. Right. Who wants that? I'll take the boner. So he couldn't get rid of his boner, and they were bringing him to the hospital. They stopped, this is silly, it's stupid, but it's funny. They stopped at Burger King on the way to get something to eat, and the Burger King made his boner go away.
Shut up.
Burger King,
way?
yeah, on the way to the hospital, the Burger King got rid of it. Now my theory is that there's a high amount of saturated fats in there, which actually can cause erectile dysfunction, and perhaps the massive amount of saturated fats in the disgusting Burger King burgers got rid of his boner.
Okay.
And needless to say, I did not go through with that manufacturer ever again. High-tech manufacturers my dick pills now, and everybody is very, very happy with them. Everybody loves them. The way that Kendra came into the plan was, I have met a lot of people because of Blackstone Labs. And a lot of people in the adult industry are also into fitness. And we were at I think it was Olympia. Yeah, it was at the Olympia. So I'm definitely her biggest fan. I'll challenge anybody. I found her a long time ago so there's a gym in New York City, 19th Street Gym.
Okay.
And it's under new ownership now. It's the guys that own Crowbar own it now, but it was originally owned by a gentleman named Brian Moss. And Brian Moss did photography. He has his website, She Muscle, and it's like fit girls, whatever, this and that. And so I would like dick around and look at those old videos because I like girls with a little bit of curves and muscle. And I found a very old video of you from when you very first started, and I was like, damn, she's really lean. Oh. And it had to be like
2012?
Yeah, it was back in the day.
Yeah.
And but I thought your face was really beautiful, so I started like going around and I found more of your stuff, and just eventually it just grew into you being my favorite. So you know, we all have our own specific types and whatnot. So we met in Vegas and we talked, and I said, you know, I have this idea that I've been like focused on for a while, and I didn't do it for a very long time because my now ex-wife was extremely against the idea. So, you know, out of respect for her, I was like, fine, I won't make us millions of dollars and we'll just fucking suffer. Which is not the
right,
truth.
and everyone's erections will suffer as well.
I'm just hurting the world because you're being ridiculous. So, but I was a good husband and I respected that, and I just was like, look, I really want to do this project. You can freaking have all the money. Just let me do the project to prove a point because there's no good natural products out there. So while we were going through the manufacturing, my partner, at the time, my other partner, not the one who's almost about to be my ex-partner. This is very ballsy for me to say that right now, but that's okay. So, I'm just thinking about all the people that are going to get mad at that, including the attorney. So, hey, it is what it is. So, I was like, you have a woman's product? And he was like, dude, I have a woman's product. He's like, I already tried it on a couple girls. And I was like, send it to me. So he sent it to me. I looked at the ingredients. And I'm like, dude, can we put CBD in it?
Right.
And I'm like, CBD is so hot right now, and I've been researching CBD. If you Google CBD, there's a lot of stuff that comes up with sex, with women and sex, because it relaxes the mind. And so we put CBD in it, which I thought was a great marketing tool. We actually eventually removed the CBD just because of the way legislation is going right down here in Florida, and I don't want to bore you guys with that. So I was like, dude, I'm going to send this to fucking Kendra Lust. Like, she's a pro. Like, she is a professional at having sex. Like, no one has sex as good or on the level that she does. So if she likes it, then I know that it's good, and it's not just some girls getting placebo effect. So I sent it to Kendra, and I don't know if you remember what you told me, because you were like, yeah, we thought it was bullshit, but we figured since it's PJ, we'll try it. You know, he makes good products. And I think everybody thought that. They're like, yeah, whatever, this is bullshit. And I sent it to you, and do you remember what you told me the next day?
I don't remember exact words. All I remember is I was able to come twice.
Yes.
I generally can only come one time. And this has just been something lately, and I don't know if it's just because of all the sex that I've been having, but if I come in oral, then a lot of times I have a harder time coming during regular sex. And I was able to come without having to really try as hard. And I have a great partner. It's not about my partner. It's me, you know? So it was really intense and really hot, and I was satisfied times two. So I was really happy.
So, you know, indirectly, I made Kendra Lust come twice, which I'm very proud of.
Well, and you should be.
Very indirectly, extremely indirectly, across the country. But anyway, so I was very proud of myself. And I'm like, fuck, if I can make her a pro, right, best of the best, feel like that. Imagine what I could do to people that are just having regular vanilla sex, right? So I sent out a bunch to girls that I knew that would use it, and they all said the same thing. They're like, this shit's amazing. This just happened the other day. There was a girl here that she was like, I want to try that. She was all embarrassed. She was like, I want to try the women's entice. And I was like, I'll give you the men's one too. She messaged me the next day. She wrote PJ ... And I just wrote back, told you. I already knew because I get the ... all the time. And she was like, it was amazing. I came in like 3 minutes.
Wow.
And I was like, it just heightens the sensitivity. The maca herb will increase blood flow and sensitivity to your clit, so you'll have more sensitive, like clitoral stimulation. It will relax your mind. It heightens sensitivity inside as well. It should cause an extra lubrication effect. So there's a lot that goes into that product. It's a cool ass product.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, now I have 2 products that I can market. How am I going to market it? I can put it out as a Blackstone Labs product, and I'll probably sell, you know, even if the worst case scenario, I'll sell 1,000 units a month and I'll make money. But I wanted to crack into the adult world forever. I mean, I wanted to be adult star when I was young, and my mom was like, please just go to college. And I was like, Mom, it's my dream. And now, I you know, I don't have any regrets, but sometimes like when I watch porn, I'm like, fuck, my dick's bigger than that guy. He's got my spot.
Right?
And, but it's okay. I have no regrets.
Seat to some of these guys.
Yeah, I still, at least I can watch and dream. So anyway, I'm very passionate about the adult industry, and I feel like it's a giant market, way bigger than my industry, that I can tap into. And why would I not try to tap into it with who, in my opinion, is the #1 best performing star, regardless of genre or age group? I just think that you're the best, and a lot of people agree with me. You know, I know some stats on you. Like, I know that you were on the cover of Larry Flint's Excellent magazine.
Yes.
And typically, if you guys look at Hustler, like, he puts like 19, 20-year-old girls on the covers of his magazines.
Sure.
And they don't use the MILF genre on the covers of those magazines. That's a fucking something to be very, very proud of. So to me, from a marketing aspect, I'm like, you know what? Rather than saying, hey, do you want to be a endorsed, you know, representative. What I believe in this, you believe in it because you tried it and it worked good. How would you like to be my business partner? I'll give you equity in the company. I'll lay up the money to do it, and we'll be a freaking team. You bring all the strengths. I know the strengths that me and my team can provide, and let's try to make this thing big. And she obviously said yes because she's here now. And so we started. Now, I will say it has not gone as fast as Blackstone because some of the things that we specialize in at Blackstone, we are unable to do because lots of the social media platforms and digital platforms that we use for our marketing are very PG or even G.
Right.
We almost got banned. Blackstone almost got banned from Facebook because of Entice.
Huge.
And that would have been big for us. So we've had to do some re-strategizing, and that is the main reason that we have Kendra here, other than, we wanted to hang out with her. And I think you guys will be really impressed with where we're going with Entice. And we have Ryan Loco here for the photos. So it's going to be a really awesome couple days. We're going to get a lot done, and I thought it would be fun to switch things up and let you guys see Kendra, because I think Kendra is like one of the most awesome girls I've ever met in my life. And I'm not like trying to like kiss her ass just because she's sitting right in front of me, and obviously because I think she's very beautiful. But she is so sweet and so nice to every single person, always, no matter where she is. Anytime I've been around her, we were leaving the restaurant today, and she made sure to say thank you to the waiter, and she's just nice to everybody. She's just like a breath of fresh air to be around, especially because I'm around a lot of douchebags all the time.
Hey, me too. Whew. So hey.
Yeah. All right, let's get off the douchebags and start getting right into some questions. This is what you guys have been waiting for. I tried to stagger them, guys, because some of the like the Russian / foreign or some of the Indian listeners have gotten some raunchier questions in, and there's only 2 that I threw out that if they offend me, they're gonna offend everybody else because it takes a lot to offend me. And then we have some fitnessy stuff, so we're gonna mix it up and we'll roll through it. The first question comes from Mohammed, and it's a statement and a question in one. He says, "I am Mohammed, 30 years old, male from Egypt. I would like to ask, how can I be a male performer doing movies with Kendra Lust?"
Okay, Mohammed from Egypt. I would recommend coming over to the United States. Most of the porn or the adult filmmaking takes place in California. Mm-hmm. So, but before I would come over, how about emailing us some pics if you're really serious? And I'll tell you exactly what you need to send. I want a full frontal, a full back, full right and left side. And you need to be erect, fully erect, to see if you can make the cut. And if so, then come on over to the United States, and you'll start with some of the newer girls, and then you'll work your way up to Kendra Lust.
Yeah, you have to put in some work. You can't just go right to Kendra Lust. As the kids say, that's like going 0 to 100 way too quick.
Yeah, so we don't, that's what you have to do. So if you can fulfill the photos and send those, we'll go from there.
Yeah, you can send your photos to askpjbraun at blackstonelabs.com, and I will look at your cock first before, if it's worth her seeing, then I will pass it on.
I love it.
Our second question is from Daniel DeCarlo. Hey Kendra, first off, thank you for being so kind and great towards your fans. See, I said it earlier. I have so much respect for you as a professional and also as a businesswoman. My questions are, and there's 2 questions here. If you could go back to being 21 years old again with the knowledge that you have now, what would you do differently, if anything at all?
Good question. What would I do differently? In all honesty, I don't know that I would do too much differently. I would still get an education because I feel education is important. You need something to fall back on. Currently, I'm falling back on my back. However, I just feel that education first. I really don't think I would do anything different. I'm pretty happy with the choices that I made. If I knew now or then what I know now, oh boy, I could pretty much rule the world. Or you're just as
Wouldn't we all?
Yes, right. So I don't know that I would do anything different. I wouldn't.
I can tell you some things that I would do different, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Prenup.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
All right, well, he has a 2-part question, and you kind of answered a little bit in the first one, just the way your demeanor is, but he wants to know, if you died tomorrow,
right,
and you could only leave one piece of advice behind, what would it be?
It would be to not only give money to the people that you love or take care of the people that you love. It is important. However, time is the most precious gift that you cannot get back. So take time and spend time with the ones you love and let them know.
Good sound advice.
So
I second that. Also, there's the freaking Jason Genova comment at the end. I can't even escape him when Kendra Lust is here.
oh my god.
This is just a I felt the need to keep this one. This is from Jorge Fernandez Cordero.
Ooh.
And he says, "Hi Kendra, have you ever done the squirt?"
Oh, the squirt.
The squirt.
The squirt. I produce such little squirt. It's almost.
She's a minimalist.
I am when it comes to that. Maybe I'll produce more as the years go on, but my squirt is natural. It's real, and it's only produced with Manuel's fingers.
Very, very high quality.
Yeah. So I have. It's not, a great amount, but yeah, it's been there. So the scenes with Manuel, the scenes with Ramon. Yeah, the foreign guys make me squirt.
The foreign guys have it. It's the magic fingers.
Something.
All right, Dan Tron wants to know. Oh, he wants to also say good morning, beautiful, and that he says that he is your biggest fan. I disagree. I am. Can I please just meet you in person for one time in my life? That's all I want.
Okay, well, I mean, everybody has the opportunity to meet me. I travel all over the country, outside of the country. I'm going to Mexico City in March. So for a huge convention there, I feature dance, so there is definitely opportunity.
Plenty of opportunity.
Definitely.
Get out there. All right, this is from, some of these names are really challenging me today. This is from Ladislav Venkov. And he wants to know, have you ever enjoyed the sex so much that you go for a second round perhaps before or after the scene is done, like shower sex after the scene, something along those lines?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
I find that to be very interesting.
Yes, absolutely. I'm not one to kiss and tell. However, I have definitely played in between scenes. She had beautiful dark hair down to her voluptuous ass.
Narrowed it down to about 100 people right now.
Exactly. But yeah, we had quite a bit of fun after.
I like that.
So, yeah, it was really
It's
hot.
a good show.
Yes.
We should do this every week. All right. We're going to flow along with these because we've got a lot more to go. All right, this is from Heradav, who I actually do love. Heradav. Heradav submits some great questions to my show. So this is the way he did his Heradav is the girl man. It's a mystery here. Everyone wants to know that is Heradav male or female. Now, I am very, very positive that Heradav is male.
Heradav.
Salvina's like, you're wrong. Heradav's female, and I know that I'm right. But Heradav remains anonymous. But I know that I'm right. So we've gotten this asked by this for a bunch of people too. So I'm just going to read it as if Heradav was sitting here, he or she self. Hello, this is /Heradav /girlman, 2 flower emojis, /PJ's favorite person in the whole world, with a question for Kendra, queen crown emoji, queen emoji, and then some heart emojis.
I love it.
Kendra, as I told PJ, he did tell me this on one of the recent shows, when one sees beyond your fame and sensuality, one finds a nice, humble, and compassionate person. Is it important to do business with someone who is a good person? Is it not important at all?
Heradav, if I'm saying that correctly, it is absolutely important to do business with somebody who is a good human being. Why would you want to do business with someone who you felt had bad intentions or you didn't get a good vibe about them? Absolutely. Very
important. And he asked me this question 2 podcasts ago about you as well. And I said the same thing. I said that we would not be in business together had you not been as sweet and nice and down to earth as you are. And regardless, I'd still be a fan of your work, but I would have probably been very disappointed.
Yeah.
It sucks when the people that you really, it's like to me, without like segueing for too long, I look at Kendra Lust the way like certain people look at Michael Jordan. Like, she's like legend to me. Like, to me, she's the best. She's the best ever. There's no like comparison. There's no Kobe Jordan comparison with me. It's just Kendra and Nova and everybody else. So if she let me down, I don't think that I want to do business with her. I'd be like, I'll just do it on Blackstone, you know? So, but it didn't go that way, and the rest is history. There's a bonus question. Heradav says, I've always thought, did you read this, Eric? You didn't?
I didn't read all of it.
This is great.
I just saw his name and knew he was in.
All right, so the bonus question is, I have always thought that stupid people see nobility as stupidity. Only noble people see nobility for what it is. Do you find trouble being a noble person? How do you manage it? Lots and lots of love to you. Numerous emojis, including unicorns and a poodle and a rainbow. Heradav.
That is a really, really good question. In a world of cynicism, okay, it is challenging to be ethical at times because you don't always do what's right, but you do what's necessary in some circumstances. However, I don't know if that came out right.
I
I think just in general in life. However, when it comes to business, you kind of the same principles, but I think being ethical at the end of the day is the way to go, or being noble, because ultimately you have to live with the decisions that you make, and karma's a bitch.
Yes.
You know, it really is.
I got karma going after somebody right now.
It's not easy though, I tell you, to turn the other cheek or to just be the bigger person, but I can go to sleep with a clear conscience, and that's a good feeling.
Very important. I know that I can as well, and that's something that I'm very proud of. So,
Cheers to us.
Yeah, cheers to us, seriously. Moving along, this is from Andy Sedano. Hello, Kendra, big fan of your work. What is your, I like this guy. I like this one. Good question. I should have saved this one for first. What is your favorite product from Blackstone Labs?
Oh my God.
And does it come in useful in your scenes? Just curious because I could use some magic in the bedroom myself. Any tips? P.S. PJ rules. Long live Lord PJ. Andy Sedano, a.k.a. Sonorkaboom.
That's awesome. Okay, well, since Entice and Blackstone are separate, of course I would say
They are separate, but they're synonymous. They're manufactured by the same guy who's my partner in Blackstone, so we're all in it together.
Well, of course it's going to be our Entice
course.
women. However, I like your hype.
Thank you.
Definitely. It's great pre-workout. And I feel sometimes if he sends it, I just take it. And sometimes, okay, this is good. PJ sent it, it's good. I love your protein. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Bar none. So I don't think I just have one. And, well, this is not biased, but anyway, so I would have to say, yeah, definitely the hype. I like the hype, and I love the chocolate protein. It's my
Awesome.
favorite.
I like that. Go out there and get yourself some hype. By the way, you can save on any of the stuff that we talk about on the show. On any of my shows, Hype 20 will save you 20% if you listen to the podcast. By the way, that's my formula, which I think is the better of the two. I'm going to change the name, and we're going to see what happens.
Nice.
All right, because everybody's like, oh, Hype Extreme. I'm like, you're only buying it because it says Extreme on it.
Right, yeah.
And that's not a diss on Gorilla Chemist. Love the Gorilla Chemist, just still think mine's better. All right, this is from Mason Bear. Kendra, glad you could make it onto the show. My question for you is how to make anal sex more pleasurable. My girlfriend is a straight-up freak and is down for just about anything except 90% of the time when we try anal sex, she is in pain and needs to stop. The other 10% of the time, it's great. If you have any tips, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, do you have any stories you could share about bad anal experiences while on set? Any advice helps. Thank you so much. Now, I will tell you something. I'm going to just throw this out there right now before Kendra answers. Alcohol helps out a lot.
Yes.
All of my anal experiences involved copious amounts of alcohol.
I'll have to agree with that. Absolutely. In all honesty, I feel like sex should be spontaneous, but in real life, it's not always that way. Sometimes you have to plan work, life, kids. It's just life. So if your girl is down for everything, kudos to her. And I was your girlfriend at one time because there was a time where it hurt really bad and it wasn't going in. And then there came a time when I started to get educated on how to prepare and satisfy my man. So I think just educating, being educated in a certain area will definitely help you. So as far as that goes, it's pretty easy. Not easy, but what you want to do, definitely you can have a cocktail. Not always necessary, but it does help. I would start with either fingers or a small toy and lots of lube.
Lots of lube.
Okay, silicone lube for the ass, okay? And you just want to ease it in. And when you're putting it in, you want your girl to actually push out. I know it sounds weird. If your girlfriend wants to clean before, some girls do enemas, some don't. If you're going to be spontaneous and just go for it, it happens. But she'd probably feel more comfortable if she cleaned out before. Lots of lube. You do a nice either fingers or a toy. Gently, one, then two, and then you want to make sure you're stimulating her clit. Get her warmed up. Start penetrating her, I can say
whatever you want.
Okay, I don't want to.
Trust me, I'm going to say all kinds of weird shit.
Okay, so you want to start basically fucking her pussy first. Get her warmed up. Start playing with her ass, okay? And even when you're starting to put fingers inside her or a toy, you want to still be rubbing her clit because that will kind of defer some of the uncomfortableness. And it's a muscle. It stretches. So little bit at a time. I recommend the girl laying on her side so she can kind of control it, or even on top, because it's more nerve-wracking when you have this big guy on you getting ready to pound your ass, and you're not ready for it. So stretching, slow, breathe, it's a muscle. Don't worry about pooping, because that was my biggest thing. Oh my God, what if I poop? So I could never relax.
A lot of girls can't get that out of their head, yeah.
So once you get that out of your head, you start stretching, you're going to be fine. Because I'll tell you one thing, a real dick feels way better than a toy. So I would start there and see how it goes.
I think that's sound advice. I'll tell you something, just man to man, Mason Bear. For math purposes, I'm gonna say that maybe of all the women I've been with, I would say max 10% I've done anal with, and I was usually in relationships with them. Now, there's this one time I met this girl at a bar, and I took her home, and she was like, "Do you want to fuck me in the ass?" And I was like, we just met, and I don't have a condom. I think I'll just keep it in the vagina for tonight. I was kind of freaked out. I was like, I wonder if she just throws that out at every guy that she meets. I was like, man, I kind of wish I had a condom right now. So I did not fuck her in the ass, but most of the time, most of my experiences, it was more work than fun. And it's just like, I don't know, I prefer the vagine anyway. And, it's like you have to go with the crying, and like you do the whole thing with the fingers. And of course, like you said, you're working the clit, and it becomes like a project.
It is.
And I don't like that. Look, when you get older, I've found that you have to schedule sex a lot. That's just life, especially when you're very busy. But like spontaneous sex is the best sex. So if you're in the middle of something hot and steamy, and you're like, hold on, I'm gonna stop and go get the lube and just warm yourself up until I get back, and I'm just gonna do one finger first.
Yeah.
I like to eat the ass. Like I'll eat the ass like it's a friggin' delicious fruit salad.
And that's huge, guys. Please, if you're listening, just lick around. I mean, just have some fun. It'll help relax her too. It'll get her used to being things around her ass, and then eventually your cock will get in there.
Yep.
Okay. Good advice.
Be prepared to wipe some tears away, though. I don't have a long dick. I have a thick dick, which I feel is more important. And so I had a girl that she wanted to try the anal so bad, and we did, and she cried and was all fucked up and walking weird for like 2 days. And I was so gentle that it wasn't. I was like, I'm not doing anything. She's like, it's too much. It's too much. I'm like, I'm not even in yet. That's my finger.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to give up for some reason. It was like something she wanted to prove to herself, I guess.
Yeah.
So she had to get hammered, and so we did it, and I was like, it was the same thing. It was just like not fun for me because I knew that I was hurting her, and I was trying to be like gentle about it. And I'm like, you just have a really small butt, and it is what it is.
Right. Everybody's anatomy, and you're right. You're so right. You hit the nail right on the head. And I was that girl. I'm not ashamed to say, everyone thinks, oh, you do porn or adult film. You are just this. No, I'm still learning. I'm still learning things about my body, and I learn from other girls, and I pay homage to those girls, like Phoenix Marie. She was great.
She's a champ.
She is
champion.
Amazing. She taught me how to. I remember the first time I fingered an ass. She's like, no, honey, like this. I said, oh, I'm so sorry. Did I hurt you? And so she showed me. You don't finger it like this. You take those fingers like this. That's how you get 3 fingers in the ass. Okay.
Yeah, you still gotta do the lube, especially when you have long nails and stuff.
Yeah. So anyway, we're all learning, and it's experimenting and getting comfortable with our partner and communicating. Communication is the key to a healthy sexual relationship. So don't be afraid to talk. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed. This is something, is still considered taboo. However, everybody's doing it. Just it's okay. So
there you go.
Yeah.
From the expert. All right. So this one is from Steve Sampson, and I actually purposely put this one last because I love Steve Sampson. Steve Sampson is a very, very loyal Blackstone. Started out as a customer, lost 100 pounds using our products and working with Corey in the call center.
Go for it.
And now he's a member of the Legion. He's just a great guy.
Congrats. That's awesome. What, huge accomplishment.
Yeah, very, very,
Kudos to you,
very impressive transformation. All around good guy, too. All right. Hello, Kendra and Lord Braun. First, let me say thank you for the mistletoe contest, which he did win via my DMs. I told people they could DM. By the way, people DM me some crazy shit. I have a feeling PJ passed that photo around the office. I did not, although I may have showed it to Corey. And I'm just being honest with you. But I didn't pass it around. I wouldn't do that. I'm not that kind of guy. Anyway, Kendra, I saw you participated in the Legacy 360 boot camp to fight cancer which benefited St. Jude's Children's Hospital. What is your charity of choice? And there's a special reason for choosing it.
It is St. Jude's, 100%. And I like their organization because I was a hospice nurse. Well, I'm still a registered nurse, but I did hospice. They had asked me to pilot the pediatric program, and I was not able to emotionally do it. And now I see all of these commercials on TV, and it just, it breaks my heart. I have a soft spot for children and the elderly and animals. And when I see things like that, I just realize how grateful I am to have healthy nieces, nephews. I'm so grateful for that. So when I see these poor, suffering children, instead of just donating my money, which I would do, silently, when you donate, you don't advertise about it. You do it because that's what's right. But this year I decided to do a little bit more. And as I said before earlier in the podcast, that time is more important than your money. Money is important. I don't want to sound like, oh yeah, that it's not, because we all need money to survive, to have a house, to have food, all that good stuff. But giving your time to someone is a selfless act, and these children are so deserving. And yeah, I'm gung-ho. I love St. Jude's, and I love what they do with the proceeds. So we did raise money. We did give money. We had a boot camp. We had a great turnout. And then on June 16th in Detroit, we are having, or it's actually in Ferndale, we're having a fundraiser there. We'll have a silent auction. So all the proceeds, 100%, will be going to them. So
yeah, it's St. Jude's is such a great charity. I mean, we've done stuff with St. Jude's before, not in a while, but we have before. Right now, we have the presidential Deep V's. I did the pink shirts that were supposed to be here in October, and they didn't freaking come until January. And it screwed my whole breast cancer awareness month thing. But we are donating to breast cancer awareness from the proceeds that come from those shirts. Awesome. And I hate cancer. I lost my grandma to cancer. A lot of people close to me to cancer. We say fuck cancer around here.
Yeah.
And so St. Jude's the kids. I don't want to friggin' ruin. This is a fun show. I don't want to ruin the show with a sad story.
Debbie Downer.
I was in the hospital. I dated a girl, and we dated for a long time, and we split up. But she was a good girl, and she had a really good family. And I found out, she called me, like we had been broken up for like a year. She called me crying, and her dad was hospitalized. And I was watching football with my buddy, and I was like, dude, I think I should go to the hospital. He's in Sloan Kettering, and he's like, I don't think you should go. And I'm like, why? And he's like, you're going to send the wrong message.
Oh.
And I was like, I know, but I really cared about her dad a lot, And it just sounds really bad. So I drove down to the Bronx, and I picked her up. We went to the hospital, and right when I got there, they like ran over to her, and they're like, you can't go in there. They're resuscitating him right now.
God.
And she like collapsed in my arms crying. And he actually didn't die.
Thank God.
But he went into basically like an induced coma.
Sorry to hear that.
And he never came out of it. And it took him about 13 days to die. And I stayed there every single day. And it was like a very, very horrible experience. Like my mom, she came to my house one day after like 5 days. And she was like, I really don't want you going down there anymore. Because I would come home and I would just sit in this chair because there was all these kids that were really sick. Oh, and I remember I saw this little girl. She was probably 2 years old, this beautiful little girl. And I was talking to her parents a lot because I didn't really know what to do. I do really bad with death in hospitals. And so I felt like it was like my job to just give a lot of hugs and talk to people.
Yeah, and sometimes there's nothing to say.
Yeah,
just
there really
being
is.
There for people, sometimes just an ear to listen, I think is powerful, as my friend Randy would say.
The people that can do that, like the nurses, we talked about this earlier, they can do that kind of stuff. They're just very special people because I couldn't handle it. I would go home and just cry. That little girl, she didn't make it. And I remember the day where I was like, where's her family? And they told me they were like, she passed away yesterday. And that really like screwed me up for a while, And from then on, I became really weird with like how much of a hypochondriac that I was because I was sitting around people dying every day. And it was when it was all over, when he passed away, it was very, very sad. But it was almost like a relief because I was like, man, he's stretching it out, and they know he's gonna die.
Right. I think too, it's it's such an ethical dilemma because do we, there are miracles. I believe in that. Things, people that maybe weren't supposed to live get a second chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
So I think it would be hard to be in that situation as a family member because what do we do? Do we give it another few days? Is it, is he not going to come out of it? And, I don't know that I would be able to do that because even though it's not you, when you actually have to maybe terminate life support, I can't imagine having to deal with that.
Yeah, it was a big thing because the power of attorney was in like his ex-wife's name, and she was like kind of nuts and like didn't want to like turn it off, and they were like, the only thing that's keeping him alive is the machine.
Yeah.
And the son, who was about maybe a little bit older than me, was like, I'll pull the plug, if you guys want me to. And I was like, I'll do it if the family doesn't want to do it.
That was nice of you. You don't even know what a I don't want to say burden, but
Mm-hmm.
a relief. You probably at least gave that family, just saying that you would do it so none of them had to live with that.
Yeah.
That was big of you.
I mean, they were like, the doctors were even saying, they were like, the only thing that's keeping him going is the machine. It's up to
Did
the
he
family.
seem peaceful though? At least not in pain?
He did. He kept it from the family, so they didn't know he was sick. And then all of a sudden, he had a very advanced stage of leukemia.
Wow.
And it was like he went from like being normal to all of a sudden being very sick. Thought he had like pneumonia or something in the hospital, and then next thing you know, he's in a coma. Like it accelerated so fast.
Wow.
Yeah, it was sad. That being in that hospital was very, very grim for a few weeks of my life.
How is your ex-girlfriend doing now?
She
Do you
is,
still
yeah,
at least are
she's
friends,
great.
or-
She's I haven't spoken to her in a very, very long time. I broke her heart, so it was better for me to stay away. She wound up marrying a good guy. I think he's a fireman, and she's a school teacher.
That is
and they have a
awesome.
couple kids, and I know that they. She stays in touch here and there with one of my old partners,
Okay.
and
That's great.
yeah, we were just different stages in our life. She was older than me, and she was a teacher. I was really focused on my bodybuilding. She wanted to get married and have kids, and I was like, I'm just not ready for that yet.
Yeah.
You know, I believe I'm going to do a lot with this, and if I do, I said, you can have everything that I from a monetary standpoint, you can have it all, but I just need to know that I made the accomplishment because it's something very personal to me.
Sure.
And I believe in it so much. It was when I first started coaching, like I had a whole plan. Like I told my mom one day, I was like, I'm going to be famous for coaching women, and then I'm going to turn it into a supplement company, and I did.
Look at you.
Not that many people can say they did that, but I knew that it was going to be a long process. And I was like, kids are going to screw it up. You know, I'm just not ready for that right now.
No, you're
so
right.
she gave me an ultimatum. She's like, well, either you put a ring on it or I'm leaving. And I was like, all right, I guess you're going to leave then. It was very sad.
Yeah.
But I could never say anything but positive about that girl.
Aw,
All
that's
right.
awesome.
Let's not get into sappy stuff. We're
Yeah,
here.
right?
We're here
We
to talk
are
sex.
here. I mean, Steve Sampson and his 100-pound weight loss, amazing.
Amazing.
And Mohammed, the 30-year-old who may be coming to the
Might be.
States. Okay, get
If you
that
pass
pic.
me and get to Kendra, that's the big
That's
thing.
right. You have to send dick pics to PJ
Yeah.
first because.
I do get dick pics, by the way.
And you know what I like about you, PJ, is you're just so open-minded that you don't shut it down. You really take a good look at it,
I
or
do.
at least from what
Dude,
I've
Eric
seen.
knows, so I used to like show Eric, just because I just think it's funny
Because
to show
Eric's really quiet.
Yeah, so I would be like, oh my god, Eric, look at this. Remember the guy that would dildo his butt to me?
Wow.
On Snapchat, this guy.
He
so,
was brave.
Hold on, Randy, you gotta hear this. So this guy, every day, in a different position, he would be just dildoing his butt. And he'd be like, it's all for you. And then finally, after like 2 weeks, because I would look at it every day and I'd show Eric. After like 2 weeks, I'd be like, yo man, seriously, I'm not gay. Please stop sending me these.
Were they like monster dildos?
They were big. It was,
Wow.
and the angles that he would get in, like you would see like the gape, and he
Wow.
had the one that like you suction on the wall, and he was like, just he wore stirrups and like this little like
Assless
yeah, the
chaps.
assless chaps.
Oh, you-
Yeah.
You told me
I'm not even making this up. Eric will back it up. That's the weird shit.
You are very open. And you know what?
you know
though?
what, and that you know what that says? It says that you are comfortable in your sexuality,
Mm-hmm.
and I like that. I like that in my friends. I like that in my partner. I like that because we are behind the times. If you look over in Europe, I mean, they have live sex shows. Sex is not taboo.
Yeah, I love live
And
sex shows.
here,
by the way.
in the United States.
I
So
think I freaked Sally out with that the other night.
oh gosh, we need to be more open sexually in the United States. Sex positive.
Yes.
Sorry.
I think that's very, very good advice.
Yes.
We are prude here in the USA, though. I freak a lot of people out. I can't help it, though. I'm too warped at this point. My mom was pregnant with me, and she would listen to Howard Stern every day. So it was like I was getting it, like
From the womb?
like from the womb. And he was much raunchier back then.
Yes.
All right, so we have questions from the office. I read these.
awesome.
I crossed one of them out already.
No, I want you to read it to me. You can't offend me.
I know.
Just tell me if I'm rambling
They're
too long. I start off slow,
they're
but
embarrassing
you
me.
get
Some
amped up.
and I don't know who submitted them, although I can probably.
Anonymous.
Yeah, they're all anonymous.
These are awesome.
I put an asterisk next to one because I have a couple listeners that I've gone over this with already. Because my listeners like to tell me lots of things, and they're going to know who they are. I will say the question, and let them know beforehand which one was the asterisk, and they'll get a kick out of this because I know they're listening. We'll start from the top.
Okay.
What are some of your best behind-the-scenes shenanigans that you don't mind sharing?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I've slipped on lube, fell on my ass. I've strapped on a dildo, and I felt so powerful. I'm not gonna lie. When I had that strap on, it's like I became a whole new person. I don't know what a dick does.
It's
to a
something
woman.
else.
But when I strapped it on, I was flinging it around, and I hit the director in the face, Lindell. So it was fun. I had a lot of fun with it. So, I like to have fun. Yeah, it's work, but you have to have fun with what you're doing. You
Damn
can't.
right.
It can't be all straight and narrow. I mean, life's too short. You gotta love what you do.
Hell yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
It is great having a dick. I'm always like, God, thank God I'm not a girl. This is a good one. Is the pineapple/citrus root myth true? The pineapple thing, there is actually scientific
Yes.
study behind that.
Yes. All I know is the cum tastes much sweeter and definitely more enjoyable. I don't like funky spunk, and I know you women out there do not like that funky spunk. So, it is important to eat healthy. Sexual health and overall health, working out, it goes hand in hand. So, if you want your girl to eat your spunk, it better not be funky.
Yeah, there's a couple guys in here I think probably have funky spunk. When you say that, Eric? Niski probably has funky spunk.
So, yeah.
Go get some friggin'
That's
pineapple.
what my guy does. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm pineappling up for you, baby. I love it.
We had a on my old show, we had a big thing with going over celery. Because celery will increase the volume of your semen, but you have to eat a lot of it.
Really?
Yeah, so we had all these people that were DMing me pictures
Take notes.
at the grocery store with their girlfriends, and their girlfriends smiling with packages of celery.
I love it.
And it will increase the volume of your sperm. Because guys always want bigger loads. It's like the
They
thing.
do.
All the time I get questions, dude, how do I make my loads bigger?
Yeah.
And celery actually really will do it.
I just
That is
learned
factual.
something new. I
so-
love it. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Take a note for
You'll probably have
Chuck.
a bigger load coming your way. I bet you when you head back to Detroit. All right, so I crossed this one out, but you say you want to answer them all.
I do. Do it. Say it.
One of these idiots that works for me
okay.
wants to know the record number of dicks that you have had in one day /scene.
Okay, let me think about this. Now I'm going back 6 years. I don't know. I would say what? Just 2. In all honesty, I did an orgy scene with one of my favorites, Brandy Love, and we talked
Love
about her
Brandy Love,
earlier,
yes.
and Diamond Fox, and
Another one that I
Jules
love.
Jade. But I don't remember how many dicks. Yeah, I would say maybe 3. In that orgy scene, it was an orgy scene. So yeah, that was 3.
Pretty modest.
I mean, I'm being honest. I'm not trying to amp it up.
No.
This is what it is. So 3.
I feel like where we're at with our relationship, really my make-believe relationship with you, is that I would prefer you keep it to 3 too. Because I don't get anything out of the orgy scenes. It doesn't do anything for me.
See, for me, in all honesty, it was one of my least favorite scenes. I felt like, okay, what do I do next?
I feel like those look the most staged. It's like, all right, move over here now. Now you do this. It's chaotic.
Yeah, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Oh, okay, I kind of look like a damn mess. I mean, it's fine. I look like a mess normally, but I was just like a lost mess. Not my proudest moments or scenes. So yeah, don't look at that one.
All right.
But yeah, so yeah,
Good
but that's
sport.
not a bad
All right,
one.
good sport for answering that. I'm gonna check and figure out who asked that later.
Yes.
What is your favorite position in and out of work?
Perfect. It's the same. My favorite position in work is cowgirl. Okay, now I used to get confused with cowgirl in reverse. Cowgirl is when I'm on top facing the guy. And in my personal life, I love it. And I think I love it so much because I know my man loves it. Ooh, I just hit my nose on that. Careful now. I got a little excited thinking about it. So he likes it, and I come in that position 99.9% of the time.
I find that most women can come the easiest in that position.
Yeah, and
Probably because you know how to control what you're doing to yourself.
absolutely. So and I like it because he can grab onto my ass,
yeah.
Which is great. You got the
View.
mirror. I can see him. He can see me. It's just a fun position. It's not a dominating thing because I'm kind of submissive. Like I kind of like the man to throw me around a little bit, but I need to, maybe even tie me up. But I need to know that I can escape. But anyway, well, that's another story for another day.
I actually did not know that, and I'm glad that I do know that now because that's actually my favorite also. And I'm very, very, very much dom, not submissive at all. But
Yeah.
I like to end in cowgirl. Like that's my favorite because
Yeah.
I'm very visual.
Yeah.
And I don't like the lights off. I like the lights on. I like
Right.
mirrors. I like to enjoy. I like to be able to come while I'm really enjoying the show, and you can do way more with your hands.
Yeah.
Now I love doggy style. It's fun, but it's
Yes.
not very intimate unless you have a mirror there because unless you're pulling their head around, you can't really see the face. And I like eye contact a lot. I've been with some super weird girls that like wouldn't open their eyes, just fucking turn me off real
Agree.
bad.
No, eye contact is a connection.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't get me wrong, I like doggy because it's filthy, it's nasty, and again, more the ass, the pussy, or whatever. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't always come in that position.
Well,
so yeah.
I don't know if we even need to answer or go get into the next question because it was just, do you prefer subbing or doming? You just said you're submissive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here we go. As a woman, have you ever had a relationship where you're the one that wants sex more? If so, how did you deal with it?
No, in all honesty, the guys that I've been with, and really outside of my porn world, haven't been with a ton.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds crazy. You know, you think that I'd be like going, you know, on fingers, toes, and well, whatever. But you know, numbers are irrelevant. It's always been the guy that's wanted it more, and I'm not saying that I don't want it. I think it's just we're tend to be a little bit busier, and men have more testosterone.
Yeah.
You know, absolutely. So the guys usually want it more, but you know, if I can keep up with them, then I'm ready to roll.
Well, it seems to be doing just fine there.
Cha cha cha. Wait. What's that little?
We need the drums.
Yes,
The little drum
our
roll.
little yeah.
Once we get into a higher production, we'll have somebody that gets the soundboard and puts the little drum rolls in for when we crack jokes. All right, I lost my spot here. Oh, okay. How extensively have you traveled? I don't know who asked this question.
This is funny.
How extensively have you traveled in your work? What was your favorite place to film in?
Aw. Well,
I feel like that's a Stefan question.
You know, I've been offered or had the opportunity to film in Europe. I declined tactfully. I was grateful for the flatter that they asked. However, timing was an issue and whatever. You know, so I haven't really filmed outside of the United States. I would love to kind of see how they do things over in Europe. Greece would be great as well. So I wish I had a more exciting answer, but it's just been in the States so far.
That's good.
Yeah.
I put an asterisk next to this one. These people will know why, and I expect a DM from both of you, husband and wife, and I will not say their names. Your feelings on bondage.
Okay.
If you have a preference, bed straps, shibari, which is rope tying, thoughts on bondage.
Yeah, I do not knock anybody's sexual preferences, whether it be sexual orientation, sexual fantasies. Again, I am sex positive, and as long as you're not hurting children or animals, I feel do whatever turns you on in your bedroom, and you know, whatever works for your mate. If my guy wanted me to, actually he did tie me up. He taped me up with this tape, and it was really hot, and he actually stopped to get a picture. Oh wait, your ass. You know, I'm like, okay, let's do this. But it wasn't like, I'm not into like the whole, the nipple. For me, pain isn't pleasurable. So I like a little bit of pain, but it has to still kind of feel almost like the border of, ooh, but not like leaving marks or anything like that. So I think if you and your guy like it and it turns you on, more power to you. You just have to do what works for you. So hey, go for it. Oh, gag ball, I do like that.
Ah.
Because I like the drooling effect. And
Nice
being able
addition
to
at the end. I like
Yeah.
drill and messy, sloppy stuff.
You know,
like
that kind of
too.
stuff. So yeah, my guy's done that to me, and so it's, to each their own.
Exactly.
For sure.
It takes a lot to. Some of my friends will tell me that it's interesting things that they're into, but it takes a lot to throw me off. I'm pretty much down for most things. Except I had this one girl. She was very aggressive, and I'm very aggressive. So we're like two fucking polar bears just attacking each other. And she was big too.
Grudge fucking.
And she would always like unexpectedly jam her finger in my ass when she was sucking me off, and I'd be like, "Fucking don't do that."
You can't surprise a dude.
And I'm like, your fucking fingers are sharp. Sorry about my language, guys, but this is just being real. I'm like, your fingernails are sharp. I don't like that, and you don't do it without warning me. And she would be like, you fucking like it. You know you like it. And she would be trying to get it in, and I would be like
You're
squirming away from her,
clenching?
and I'm like, stop. And she would always try to do it. I hated that shit. It's not. And like, look, if you warn me first and trim your nails, like that's
Right,
another thing.
yeah.
But then it screws me up because I actually really like long hairs, long nails. I have like kind of more of a hand fetish. Foot, don't care about the feet, but I like nice, pretty hands and like well-kept nails. But that,
But it can be, it can be, and I think, and it doesn't make you gay.
No.
Just, as I'm sure you know, and you've probably talked about among friends or whatever before, or maybe girlfriends, that there are sensitive nerve endings down there. And if your girl is able to penetrate you just with a finger, or even a small toy, and she kind of does the come here motion where she hits that prostate, you will shoot to the moon.
Yes, milking the prostate.
Be open to pleasurable experiences. Do not put a label on what feels good and what this will make me gay if I, no, this is physiologically how you're made. You have sensitive nerve endings around that area. Cross that line of scrimmage, ladies, okay? Don't be afraid. Toss a little salad, So guys, that means make sure your ass is clean. If you want your salad tossed, you gotta be, the manscaping has to be up to, get up in there. Has to be together. And I promise, even a little lick, it's gonna be great while you're stroking and she's licking.
The lick is good.
Yeah, but a finger once in a while, you'll shoot to the moon. You won't be sorry.
The first time I ever allowed the finger action, I had a new respect for women. Because I was like, your fingers are small. I was not really you were kind of, you were hurting me a little bit.
He was clenching.
I was like, you might have to roofie me if you're gonna keep doing this. All right, so here's a good one. How has working in the porn industry affected your personal relationship?
That is a really good question, and I'm going to be brutally honest. My relationship with my guy, relationship, I guess, in general, with friends or whatever. My guy's the biggest supporter of what I do. He is my rock. He is my number one. He believes in me. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Is it difficult at times? I remember one day, he's very comfortable in his sexuality and with who he is, and just a confident guy. I mean, he's great in bed, and I'm so grateful. And he has a magical unicorn tongue. I always tell him that. It's great. Okay, so enough about him. But has it negatively impacted us on some levels? Sometimes, yes, in all honesty, because I may go to work for a week and I shoot a week straight. And then, the day I get home, I want to relax a day, and I have to put myself into his shoes and realize he's still a man. He's my husband. Well, I shouldn't be really talking about that, but he is. I don't really talk about it, but it is what it is, and he still has needs. And granted, that's my job, but I have a duty as a wife, so I need to, and I want to. So sometimes I have to get over my tiredness and realize, sometimes, we need to do it, and my body may be tired, but, my mind's saying, yes, my body's tired, and I got to get through that. So we have great sex life. It's great, but sometimes it does, where I feel a little tired, and he gets that. It's not that he pressures me or anything like that, but I remember one time he said, I think Bill Bailey fucked you more times in this month than I have. And we kind of joked about it, or he said something to Bill about it or whatever. And I was like, damn, But, so, sometimes that's hard, when I'm working a lot. So I've learned now to balance. I'm only shooting X amount of days a week. That way I have a healthy sex life with my husband at home. I have good scenes, and, I have some time to myself. So it's about balance. Absolutely.
And a lot of trust, I think.
Yes.
For as a part for the partner.
But you know what? And I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
If I'm dragging on, just go like this, because this is what I do to Randy when he says something.
we're on
I go like
perfect
this.
Perfect time.
Is that there is a difference, and I know a lot of people don't understand this, and they may never understand this, but there is a complete difference between fucking and intimacy with my. Do I fuck my guy at home? Absolutely. I fuck him, but I also cuddle him, help him. I don't cook very much, but I do the intimate little things that I'm not doing for anybody else. I'm not cuddling anybody else. I'm not rubbing their back, their feet, whatever. These are and then there's intimacy. So fucking is just fucking. I have no feelings. I don't care about those guys. I don't care. I mean, I care of them as a colleague, but I'm not looking to go to dinner with them. I don't care what they think about me when I leave. It's work, it's sex, and then, there's intimacy and real sex. So.
Makes complete sense.
Yeah.
It's like sport when I watch porn. Some of the positions too, I'm like,
really?
This can't be fun.
I know. Come on.
I wouldn't want to do some of the positions that I see. I'm like, that looks hard for him, awful for her. It's like sport. All right, where was I? This is a good one. What do you do that keeps you so much better looking than most of the young women that are coming into the industry?
Oh my gosh, that put a big smile on my face.
Good.
Thank you, whoever in this awesome Blackstone office.
I feel like that. I like to.
Was that PJ?
I say my stuff off of the radio. I feel like if I were to predict, I feel like that's a Lewis statement because he's like Rico Suave.
I feel like they're all Stefan.
They're all Stefan. Anything nice I've assumed was Stefan so far.
Oh my God.
And anything that was like messed up, I felt was like, this is an Alex Kaplan question, or like this is like definitely one of those core few muscle boy meatheads in there.
I in all honesty, I try not to compare myself to the younger girls because I'm not trying to look 20. I'm perfectly okay with my age. I just don't want to look older than my age, and I get it a lot where people say, oh wow, you look way better in person. I'm thinking, holy shit, what do I look
You
like?
look very, very young in person. You don't look old by any means in your scenes.
I think it's just different, the makeup that they use and whatever. And they're great artists. I just, whatever, it is what it is. And I'm happy. I'd rather be better, what do they say, in person than in pictures.
Very rare these days.
But in all honesty, oh yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I get my Botox every 3 to 4 months.
Most of the young girls are starting young.
Yeah, but I don't do anything in my lips. I don't. I do minimal fill. I just do the minimal, just because I don't want to look overdone. I don't want to look, when people look at me, I don't want them ever to think like she does adult, like she's a stripper, she does porn. I kind of want to just be like the hot soccer mom. I'm totally cool with that. Like, totally good with that. Not trying to be 20, just trying to be who I am and rocking the whole MILF genre, whatever. I'm really happy. But thank you so much. That was a really sweet comment.
Very sweet. Stefan, most likely.
Question.
Stefan's a good guy. Well, this is the last one here. This is not a Stefan question. The last question here on the list, lucky number 13, is how do you feel about the copious amount of men that offer to buy you?
I'm not mad at them. I think that if I don't know, if they don't ask, they never know, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like, what's the worst that I
I feel like they
is
assume
no.
they have to like offer something because why else would you do it?
Right, but it doesn't offend me. I think people in other countries pay for sex, and it's they have the red light district and whatever, and I'm not really offended by it. I mean, I don't want to say boys will be boys because I've had couples ask me. I've had women ask me. I actually had one today who DM'd me, and very attractive. I'm not offended by it. I think it's just, it happens more often than we like to talk about. And if they don't ask, they never know.
Yeah.
So, hey.
I think if anything, you can take it as a compliment because I don't think that I really don't think that people that approach adult stars like that are approaching it as like an escort type thing. I think it's a fantasy that they would like to have fulfilled, and it's like a business transaction.
Absolutely.
And they feel like you're a paid professional, and it's a let's work out a deal. This is the deal, and that's it. Because like anybody can go and just get an escort, and I myself, like, I've never been with an escort. I have no interest in being with an escort. But like, let's say if somebody told me, if we pick like my top 5, 10 porn stars, and they're like, look, you could do a scene with them.
Right. You
would remain anonymous. Nobody would know it was you. Although I feel like my body, like, people would figure it out. What would you drop? I mean, I would easily have no issue dropping like 10, 15 grand to do that.
Yeah.
And if I was, if I didn't just get divorced, I'd push the numbers higher. But that's all I'm working with right now. But
and you know what? That's more than some of these.
I mean,
people
you're fulfilling a
these
fantasy.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a one. People have bucket list. Whatever's on your bucket list, you don't know unless you ask or you try it. More power to you. And it takes so much to. I think I'm not insulted easily, so I've been called what, and it just doesn't bother me. You have to have thick skin to be.
Yeah. You're a very good sport. I'll tell you something weird before we sign out. Recently, and I'm very upset over this.
Oh no.
Some of my friends, now that like we do, there's a lot more going on with us, and we're starting to do stuff with the business.
Right.
They think that you have a very strong resemblance to my mom, who everyone loves.
Aww.
So my mom's very young looking. It's weird. People always are like, "Oh, your husband's big." My mom's like, "That's my son."
Oh my
and they're like, "No way."
Okay.
And she's my mom had me really young too. She had me as a teenager, so she's not old.
Okay. Yeah.
And I fucking really bothers me. I'm like, dude, first of all, don't fucking get inside my head like that. And then Salvina was like, I think it's interesting that you love Kendra so much. And I was like, why? And she's like, she resembles your mom
Really?
so much.
Okay, yeah, I'm 38, so.
What do you think that says about me?
I don't think, no, I don't think I don't think there's anything wrong. And if you look at some girl, like young women, they tend to marry people or men that resemble or remind them of their father. And I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, or that you have mommy issues because you have a great relationship with your mom.
I love my mom.
I think it's coincidental. I think it has nothing to do with that.
There
is no correlation whatsoever.
Yeah, I hope so. It's definitely, I don't like when they say that. It bothers me.
No.
Everyone loves my mom, too. They're always like, oh, your mom's so hot. I'm like, thanks.
That's still my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was a very good show, I thought. I don't know what you guys thought. I
you
thought it was a
guys.
great show. I think people are going to like this a
I
lot.
hope so.
It was a lot of fun. It was nice to switch things up from me answering all of the diet and steroid questions that I answer every week. Do you have anything that you want to talk about, like where you're going to be? Anybody want to shout out, like events that you have coming on before we go
Yeah,
away?
the most important thing that I have coming up is March 16th, and that's the St. Jude fundraiser. There is it's events.stjude.org/Kendra Lust. You can make a monetary donation, $5. I mean, goes a long way. Save $5 from 3,000 people. I mean, that's great. So, so that is March 16th, and that is going to be in Ferndale at Club Orchid. I have Amy Andrews, one of the local news anchors, that's going to be there. Joey from 955 back home in Detroit will be there hosting it as a radio host. So that, obviously, I want you guys to check out my agency website, my girls, society15.com, kendralust.com, enticeher.com. Most importantly, stay tuned because I am very, very excited. Tomorrow I'm shaking the bottles like maracas here. We're shooting, some video for it, and I'm very, 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 I don't know, I'm excited. I'm beyond excited. I guess I'm kind of at a loss. So I really want this to be a great year for this product, and we need all of your feedback. So please continue to listen, follow PJ Braun. He's awesome, and I'm so grateful. So.
And if you're interested, maybe, just maybe, I might send you a free bottle. So DM me if you're interested. We'll talk. And on that note, for the lovely Kendra Lust, I'm going to sign off. I think this was a fantastic show.
Thank you.
You're a great guest. You're a natural on the
Thank you.
radio. Very good. Very
Thank
witty
you.
answers. I like that. Some people get so bugged out by the microphones.
No, I mean, I am eye to eye, right across, and I don't speak very loudly. So, I don't know. It's okay. It takes me a minute to get warmed up, the nerves, the butterflies. I even when I shoot, I still get butterflies. Or I feature dance. I'm like, please don't roll an ankle. Please. I'm like, if I do, I'll
That's a
bounce
legitimate
right
concern,
back up. Oh, it's true. I'm like, but I did actually. And I was in Philly. And my guy picked my music. I was like, yeah, just give me some. I trust your judgment. He put, the milkshake brings all the gold. I thought, how am I going to do this? Like, how am I going to dance this? I'm giving him the evil eye. Then I go roll an ankle, kind of, and then I pop back up. I was like, son of a bitch. But, it happens to us.
Did
Whatever.
you have to get a brace or anything after
Oh,
that?
I woke up the next day like, how am I going to do this show? But I ended up doing it
Did he-
with no leg brace. He goes, well, that's what you get.
Did he feel bad?
Oh, hell no, we didn't feel bad. We've been together too long, no. So, but yeah, I still get butterflies, so it's all good though.
I think that's absolutely adorable.
Thanks.
And on that note, there's no butterflies in here, just a couple of guys and Kendra, and it's very hot, so I'm going to peace out of this show.
Thank you.
Guys, give us your feedback on the show. We currently have a 5-star rating on iTunes, so fuck the haters, as I always say. But you can find us, of course, on SoundCloud and the website. We'll blast this out everywhere. If you want her back, let me know. We'll bring her down here. For the absolutely gorgeous Kendra Lust, I am PJ Braun, a.k.a. Lord Braun, a.k.a. Braun Fitness. And as I always say, peace out, bye.